The Miami Dolphins are undefeated since firing Chris Grier. Does he play the games? No. But it just feels good to finally move in a correct way after getting rid of that loser mentality. And boy, oh boy, did this team look as good as they have looked maybe in the last 5 years. Like, can we be real here? I don't think the Bills are really that good in comparison to the other teams they've had over the last decade almost, because that defense stinks and they've got absolutely no weapons and they were down some key starters as well. But the Dolphins absolutely outclassed the Bills today in all three phases. There wasn't a single thing today that the Buffalo Bills did better than Miami. The Bills defense was terrible. Look at this. The Dolphins averaged 7 yards a play. The Dolphins were the better coach team, less penalties. They were the better execution team today. Like, everything that we've talked about in terms of plaguing the Miami Dolphins, discipline, detail, being ready to play, adjustments coming out of the half, all went Miami's way. Does that tell me that Mike McDaniel has a grip on this locker room better than we expected? Honestly, kinda. Like, we've talked about firing Mike McDaniel a lot here on the channel, and I think that's rightfully so. But for this team to week in, week out, give you good effort, shows you that this team does respect him to a degree. Now, the second half adjustments issues throughout the year are still there, but like, dude, this team is playing well and playing hard for him. And that's now 2 wins in the last 3 weeks. On the road against the Falcons and at home against the Bills. Like, that's a big win. Let the W's fly, baby. Let the W's fly. Let the W's fly. I might be a little drunk because of our stream. I had a lot of beers, but let those W's fly, baby. I mean, what a game by the Miami Dolphins, dude. Like, give credit to Tua. Like, I thought he played a good game. I mean, is he the reason why Miami won? I wouldn't say that. Like, I would probably prioritize the defense, but I think Tua was good, and I know a lot of people are going to come out here and say, oh, the 2 interceptions. I mean, those mean nothing to me. I mean, they really don't. Like, the first interception was on the first possession of the game. It was freaking 3rd and 11, and Tua just throws a bomb to Jaylen Waddle that is ultimately intercepted. It's basically a punt. And then the second interception was the same thing in the fourth quarter. I mean, 3rd and 10, had pressure right in his face, and he just threw a 50-yard ball to Waddle and said, one-on-one, I'll take my chances. And unfortunately, Waddle slipped, and it was intercepted. Like, those 2 interceptions don't mean anything to me. So, like, I'm glad Tua came out and played a really good game. And I think this was a good game. He was pretty solid today. I mean, you speak about solid. I mean, Achane was freaking spectacular, dude. Had a second career high, if you will. He totaled 225 yards today from rushing, 174, and 51 receiving. That is a second high. Second high. He had 225. 2 touchdowns, had the dagger in the fourth quarter. I mean, the Bills can't stop the run. I mean, look at how good these numbers are. And you give credit, the Dolphins' run blocking has been good. Like, it has. Like, when we talk about the offensive line having issues, it's more or less because they can't pass protect. And there were times today that you certainly had issues, especially with Jonah Savianaya. But, I mean, their ability to run the football has been really good, really all year. And it's all about the game script. If Miami's able to get ahead early and stay competitive and they're able to run the football for all 60 minutes, I mean, that's when their offense has been at their best. But when they have to throw a lot and throw from behind, that's where they really struggle. So, really good to see that. And, I mean, how about Jaylen Waddle? 5 catches, 84-yard touchdown. Like, there was a report that came out this morning from Tom Pelissero that the most aggressive team trying to trade for Jaylen Waddle ahead of the deadline was the team we just played and rival, the Buffalo Bills. Apparently, Buffalo offered a first-round pick in 2027. Don't know if they offered anything else, but they offered a first-round pick in 27 for Waddle. Miami said no. And that couldn't be a smarter decision. And, you know, I see some people clowning Miami for turning that down potentially. Why on God's green earth would I trade my best player to my division rival, where they would terrorize us for another 6+ years, and also only get a first round. Like, if the Bills traded us their first this year and their first in 2027, you think about it. But just the 2027 first for Waddle and 27? Hell no. Terrible offer. Get it out of here. And I'm glad we kept him because he was torturing the rookie Maxwell Harrison today. 38-yard touchdown in the first half on a dart from Tua. They're just pissed me off to wake up and see that this morning. And I'm glad we shoved it right up in their grill. You try to take my best player earlier in the week. You know what? Go F yourself. We're going to go beat you by 17 and make you go way back in the division. Fuck the Bills, man. This episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. The weather continues to change, but the feeling of being right never gets old, folks. So keep the season rolling on Prize Picks. You get $50 instantly in lineups when you play your first $5. So simple to play. Just pick more or less on at least 2 player stats, and you get those picks right, you could cash in. Prize Picks now offer stacks, meaning you could pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want to go more than on Achane receptions, rushing yards, and touchdowns, which would have been a great entry today. Well, now you can, only on Prize Picks. My entry, by the way, tough loss. Got right on Achane, but Allen went more, and Tua went less. Either way, download the Prize Picks app today and use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks. It's good to be right. Gave a lot of credit to the offense and Mike McDaniel here early in this show. Now I got to give credit to Anthony Weaver in this defense. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, the raw numbers for Josh Allen are going to look good, right? Above a 60% completion percentage, or just, above 60. 337 yards total, 2 touchdowns. But the Dolphins bottled them up. And the only time that Josh Allen had any success is when they were doing the scramble drill. But, like, when the Dolphins were able to keep Josh Allen in the pocket and throw from there, they couldn't do anything. They really couldn't. Like, the Dolphins defense bottled him up. And what are my keys to victory? Actually, my 4 keys to victory, if you want to show it, Coop. We executed it almost to perfection. Stop James Cook was number 1. 13 carries for 53 yards, and you made him fumble in the first half. Control the clock. Now, they did have a better time of possession, but that's because garbage time late, so that really doesn't mean anything to me. Play complementary football. What I say off the top? You won in all 3 phases. You're better offensively, you're better defensively, and you're better on special teams. And the turnovers you forced, making Josh Allen fumble, intercepting him from the red zone, the James Cook fumble, all resulted in points in extending the lead for the Miami Dolphins. And number 4, keep Josh Allen in the pocket. He had 31 rushing yards, but like I mentioned, when you kept them in the pocket, they couldn't do anything. They couldn't. The passing game was obsolete when they couldn't have Josh Allen scramble outside the pocket and make plays. Phenomenal defense by Miami. They also had 3 sacks today. Bradley Chubb had a sack. Zach Sealer had a sack. Willie Gay Jr. had a sack. I mean, no Chop Robinson. No Jalen Phillips. You traded him earlier in the week. And it didn't matter. Like, I'm not trying to draw any conclusions here. I'm not trying to be clickbaity and, hot takey here. But what a effort by the Dolphins to trade away your best pass rusher this week in Jalen Phillips. You have Chop Robinson hurt. You have your best corner hurt in Rasul Douglas. Yet you played your best game defensively of the season. This game defensively was better than when you held the Falcons to 9 points, whatever it was, 10 points. Because that offense in Atlanta isn't good. Buffalo's offense is top 10. So tremendous effort by the Dolphins. And you wonder how Miami is able to do that. And if they're able to bottle this up and continue it going forward with 3 games ahead of you. I don't want to say the Dolphins can make the playoffs because it's very unlikely. And we'll talk about that here in a second. So I won't get ahead of myself. But hit that sub button. Join the channel here. We're live for every Dolphins game. We'll be live tomorrow. We'll be live on this upcoming Sunday morning game against the Washington Commanders. But, I didn't want to get ahead of myself here. But I mentioned, you're not gonna make the playoffs. Like, let's not get crazy here. Probably not gonna happen. You'd have to go 8-0 in your final 8 games. But, like, dude, you have your next 3 games against the Commanders in Madrid, facing a Marcus Mariota-led team. Then you have your bye week. You play the 2-win Saints, and then you play the 2-win Jets. You win those games, you get to 6-7. And, like, I don't want to believe the Dolphins can win 4 more games, and then because your final 4 games are against really good opponents: the Bengals, the Steelers, the Buccaneers, and the Jets. Or excuse me, the what's it called? Patriots, the final week of the year. But, like, it might be bad for the future of this franchise, but, like, dude, you're gonna be there. Like, I hate to say it, because I know Dolphins fans are going to be frustrated with wins that ultimately don't mean making the playoffs. But, like, I think the Dolphins win their next 3 games. It's funny because last week I literally said that I don't think they win more than 1 game the rest of the year. But, like, with Chris Greer gone and them playing this type of game against the Bills, like, they should be able to just take care of business over the next 3 weeks. Now, do they lose the final 4 games? It's very much possible. But if they don't, they're going to be a 7-win team this year. And if that is the case, that shows the team didn't quit on Mike McDaniel, and maybe the roster just wasn't good enough, and McDaniel's kept next year. I predict it. How many wins for the Dolphins the rest of the way? They have 7 more games. 7 more games. I think they win 3 of them. I think they finish 6-11. I honestly think if I had to predict the rest of the year, they win the next 3 and then they lose the last 4. Like, do they beat the Bengals on? Like, do they beat the Bengals, Steelers, Buccaneers, or Patriots? Like, I probably lose all those games. Patriots could be resting. I mean, I bet they'd be playing. Coop said that in my ear. I bet they'll be playing for divisions. I mean, they might have the division locked up, but they'll be playing potentially for the number 1 seed. So, yeah, it'll be tough. I think 6, though. I think 6. Is that crazy to say? Gibbs touchdown. Lions. You guys don't care if that you're watching the video, but I'm kind of drunk on our live show. All right, I'll do it for today's show. Appreciate everybody for watching. We'll continue to be here and stay on the lookout for all the content we're bringing out because it's going to be a lot. Go Dolphins.